Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Leading FBC News tonight, PNG High Commissioner raises questions of a local recruitment company hiring workers for PNG. Rotuma wants better from shipping operators. And Suva City Council promises more beautification projects to come. Welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Fiji High Commissioner in Papua New Guinea is questioning the validity of a deal between a Fijian recruitment agency and certain individuals in PNG. As Mika Longa reports, both countries have launched an inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the deal. The issue relates to the hiring of Fijians to work at a mine in PNG.
High Commissioner Romano Tukutukuda says it would be prudent for any recruitment agency or anyone for that matter who has an interest in Papua New Guinea to keep our Foreign Office in the loop.
My concern is that as High Commissioner, Fiji's High Commissioner to Papua New Guinea, that all recruiting companies based here in Fiji that are recruiting Fijians to go and work to Papua New Guinea, though they are private recruiting companies, it's best for them to go through the Fiji High Commission.
Initial investigations by our PNG High Commission has revealed there are irregularities in an arrangement entered into by a Fijian recruitment agency and certain individuals in PNG.
I've done some verification to that regard, and I found out that there has been some complications in some of our recruiting companies that have been, with a recruiting company that is conducting recruiting here, with what I've seen and discussed and the outcome of my meeting held so far in Papua New Guinea. So whilst I'm here this week, I intend to meet up with the recruiting agency and also meet up with those that hopefully would like to clarify issues pertaining to the Papua New Guinea exercise.
Tikitukuda says he will be speaking to the recruitment agency in question.
The experience that I've gained and gone through in the past, being a former police officer, what I don't wish to see is that because some recruiting agency, soon they advertise works overseas, they start collecting money from people. And many of the people are still wondering what has happened to what we have given until today. And we don't want that sort of exercise to be undertaken for our people that are going to Papua New Guinea. That's why the Fiji High Commission very much want to verify all these work contracts and memorandum of understandings and deals that have been done.
We can't name the recruitment agency or the PNG group at this stage as it could compromise investigations. We have sent questions to the Minister for Labour, John Usumate, who says he will get back to us. Mika Longa, FBC News.
There's been a lot said about shipping services to our maritime islands recently, and one of the worst affected has been Rotuma. Until Rotuma Day celebrations last week, there was no processed foods on the island. Apisalamedaka was in Rotuma and found out how people are getting by.
This is what shops look like when there's no consistent shipping service. There's now basics like sugar or salt. Rotumans have to get by as best they can.
The fuel is something that it really needed because first priority is the hospital. If the fuel runs short, the hospital can't work. Because no power. And on top of that, the second thing is the children, the school children. If the fuel runs short, the children they have to walk to school. And the fifth thing, I think that's the most, is the water. People really need the water, and if there's no power, no water.
I won't deny the fact that this is the problem issue in Rotuma. It's not only in Rotuma, but the whole Eastern Division. We need vessels.
As the MV Ililowatu arrived on the island last Sunday, hundreds of people crowded the jetty waiting for supplies from Suva. Unloading began early Monday morning and went on into the night until police had to step in for safety reasons. All the cargo was finally offloaded on Tuesday.
The problem keeps on creeping up, and so we are thinking of having a dedicated boat for Rotuma, and probably a passenger cargo boat for the Eastern Division, and a barge also.
Rotuma needs a boat, and secondly, when the boat is late, everything runs out from the island.
I realized that without proper shipping services to Rotuma, a lot of our efforts will become null and void. And that I take as being the most critical service that needs to be delivered.
Before the Rotuma Day visit by the MV Ililowatu, there had been no ship to the island for more than 2 months. The MV Sandy leaves on a franchise route tomorrow, hopefully marking the resumption of regular services. Api Salome Doka, FBC News.
Efforts to beautify the capital city continue with more development works planned by the Suva City Council. First up is Terry Walk, which after years of neglect is set to become a new attraction for central Suva. Ritika Pratap reports.
This has always been a popular hangout for people in the capital, but in recent years, it became an eyesore. Special Administrator Chandu Maria says their $350,000 facelift is money well spent.
This will be definitely opening by the end of this month. And we've got also a new public convenience, which is a friendly public convenience for disabled people, which will be a very friendly, one of the first, if I can say, public convenience for mothers who would like to go and change nappies or feed their babies in that public convenience.
This is Ellery Street. During high tide, seawater overflows from Nambukulau Creek and enters nearby shops. Ratepayers have complained about this for many years, and now there is a plan to desilt the river to make it deeper.
The banks are very weak. We did try it last year, where we had diggers working on that, but what happened is it costed us a lot of money because the banks were so weak that it broke down. So we are looking at some other means and ways, but again I must say people should not be littering in Nambukulau Creek.
The recently opened Sea Breeze walkway has become a hit with locals, but already Umaria is planning to bring in more facilities.
The walkway which stopped at the Sea Breeze walkway has now been extended into the picnic area, going into the Tiri. The second phase of that project will be, we'll have about 6 or 7 kiosks where the families can can come at any time of the day or evenings or weekend, and you can buy different food in different kiosks. We also will be constructing a public convenience in that area, which will also have showers for male and female.
Chandu Maria has always had a passion for beautification projects in Suva. What gets on his nerves is that people don't take pride in these developments. Often facilities are vandalized and littering is a major problem. The Suva City Council is hoping that people will take pride and keep Suva beautiful. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, wheat spill on the Kings Highway catches motorists by surprise.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today's hit music. What's up?
Nisambulo binaka oya wane kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbu kana Radio Fiji wana ndomai biti bongani bianyano na makatalenga na benga ona sasi biani na tinna kaloka na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakarowai mai na mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.
Welcome back. Now here's something you don't see every day. Wheat spilled all over the Kings Highway. Tons of wheat that was being transported in a container spilled onto the highway along Nambua in Suva this morning. When our cameras arrived at the scene, staff from FMF Foods were busy collecting the wheat off the road. It's understood the spillage happened after the door of the container came open while the truck was moving. The wheat was spread well over 100 meters. What's it like making a living sailing the Fiji waters? Abisalome Dhoka tries to find out, not by becoming a sailor himself, but talking to men who've been on the MV Iloilavatu for decades.
Not everyone's cut out to be a sailor, but there are some who feel right at home on the high seas. 50-year-old Tevi Tatawake has been sailing for over 30 years. Today he is the chief cook on the MV Iloilavatu.
There is a big difference to be home and to be on a vessel. At home, you are the head of the family. To be a sailor, the only command comes from the captain. Providing services to the people, including government officials, is not new to us. It is what we were trained for.
Moses Lam has spent most of his life a chef on vessels that cross oceans sailing around the world. A few years ago, he came back home to share his experience with shipping services here. On the government trip to Rotuma last week, he worked as a steward for the officers' mess.
At home, you are in mainland. If anything happens, you just not even less than a mile away from home, and it's easy to make your way in and out. But life at sea, it's living away your family and building up another family with the passengers and looking after the life and the vessel.
20-year-old Paul Bucks is a lifelong sailor in the making. He's been working on government vessels for 8 years now.
I started sailing in 2005. My first ship was the MV Iloilavatu, then was transferred to the MV Tobuto, then to the MV Ndosoko before returning to the MV Iloilavatu.
Even on dry land, the habits of the sea are hard to forget. Most of these men cook at home and serve meals. It's what comes naturally to them. Abisalome Dhoka, FBC News.
Chinese company China Railway 5 has indicated it wants to do business in the country permanently. The company has recently been awarded a contract to build a new bridge in Raki funded by the Asian Development Bank. Company Director Charles King says they've also secured similar contracts for the Northern Division.
Our company was entering into Fiji at 2008. So the first project we have done is Navaso Bridge project, and that project we have gained a lot of trust from the social works and also the Fiji government. That project is properly done, and we won the favor of the government. And also, when we stay here from 2008 to 2009, we found Fiji is a peaceful place with the most friendly people in the world.
China Railway 5 recently completed a $2 million seawall at Cuva village in Tailebu and is completing a sewage reticulation project in Samambula, Suva. Still to come in sports, New Zealand Rugby Union refused a request by the FRU to send the All Blacks for centenary celebrations. And Fiji Under-20 aims to improve rankings at the Junior World Cup.
Bola, oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kia umena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina wagarumbuka. Kako ni valata na no musini sari na kaisa mariando loloma leone vani ni nau omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina wagarumbuka na Bula FM number 2 en sere.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome to FBC Sports. Now, there are revelations tonight that the New Zealand Rugby Union turned down a request for the All Blacks to play the Flying Fijians. The New Zealand Herald reports that Rugby House had sent the request last year, but were told that the All Blacks have a full calendar of test matches and couldn't fit in a game in Fiji. The article says the NZRU decided to send a stitched-up side containing a host of relatively recent test players and those who've moved on from the All Blacks. It labels New Zealand's decision as another episode of neglecting Pacific rugby and adds that the growing concern for rugby observers is that the Pacific region is only a rich source of talent for the leading nations to pillage. Attempts to get a comment from Fiji Rugby Union were unsuccessful. The Flying Fijians take on the classic All Blacks on June 12th at the ANZ Stadium in Laucala as part of Fiji Rugby's 100th anniversary celebrations. After the naming of the national under-20 squad yesterday, the challenge will be to improve on their 11th place ranking at the Junior Rugby World Champs in France. The future Flying Fijians will sure need to up their work rate to better the outing from last year. Chalendo Zakazaka reports.
With 3 weeks left till their first pool match against New Zealand, the focus will be on lasting the full 80 minutes.
The objective this year is to be able to maintain our standards or our standings up in the Tier 1 competition. Last year we lacked a bit in consistency, so that is an area that we are working hard towards. And for us, our objective is to win, to try and win the matches, all the matches that we play, and be able to maintain that ranking or improve our ranking from where we left off last year.
After receiving the good news that the visa fees will be waived, the team is to depart for France on the 27th of this month, where they will be hosted by a top French rugby club.
Thankful to Clobon, they will be billeting us and paying for accommodation there for a few days. We'll be in France before we move to the games hotel on the 1st of June. So we're grateful to Clobon, gives the boys an opportunity to acclimatize, and also we get them to train at the grounds, which will be similar to the place that we will be playing.
A tough road lies ahead for the junior Flying Fijians, but if the players can maintain their focus for the entire game, then fans can expect a good showing in France. Chalendo Zakazaka, FBC Sports.
2 games were held today at the ANZ Stadium in Laucala in the Fiji Sun GP Batteries National Football League competition. In the first match, Navua took on Rewa. Striker Iniamboko scored the winner for Navua. The team was happy with their overall performance.
We have been lifting up slowly because of the coming Fiji fact. And I'm really happy with the performance of the boys and the officials and the coach and the supporters from the side from Navua.
Any other results for the other matches today? Navua defeated Rewa 1-0, while Nandi had the same scoreline against Suva. The final of the OFC Champions League was held today at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland, New Zealand. Auckland City defeated Roy Krishna's Waitakere 2-1. Here are the highlights.
Fenerides for Auckland. Taku Iwata goes to the near post. Oh, it's not a bad one. Robinson with the save, a chance. It's a goal for Auckland City. Adam Dickinson has put the Navy Blues in front with his 8th goal of the campaign. All of their away games in the OFC Champions League this season. That's unprecedented in this club's history. Fenerides from distance, the shot. Oh, it's a goal! Are Auckland City already on their way? Fenerides with a long-range shot. That change. Pearce clips one in. Oh, and the flag stayed down. Chance for Waitakere, it's in. The New Zealand champions are back in it. The change has worked.
Brilliant Sunday as far as the weather is concerned. Conditions were perfect all over the group, providing for a great day out with the family. Temperatures were similarly pleasant. Ba pulled a high of 34 degrees. Suva and Savasavu came in last with 29 degrees. Monday will be another fine day across Fiji. A bit of cloud in Suva and Savasavu in the afternoon shouldn't be a bother. And for the further outlook, expect cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Tonight's top stories once again. PNG High Commissioner raises questions over local recruitment company hiring locals to work in PNG. People in Rotuma say they want better when it comes to shipping services and supply of basics. And China Railway says they want to operate in Fiji on a permanent basis. Remember, our poll question closes tomorrow. The question, can Fiji win the Rugby Sevens World Cup? To take part, log on to www.fbc.com.fj. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's FBC News Tonight. Stay safe, be productive, and I'll see you next weekend. Imodemada.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 PM।